All right, friends, this is day 6 of our online Bible study looking at the book of Esther. I hope you're keeping up with your reading, and just a word of encouragement. We're only a week into this deal. You can invite somebody else to participate in this also. So if this is being helpful to you, invite somebody else to kind of catch up. Even if they don't do the Bible studies, have them catch up on the reading and jump right in. We are in chapter 4 today. We're going to read all of chapter 4. I'm not going to read the whole thing with us in this video, but I'm going to highlight 3 things. And it's in the second speech that Mordecai gives starting in verse 12. But before that, how did we get to verse 12 in chapter 4? So yesterday we talked about this evil plot that has been hatched, that Haman has hatched. Mordecai has found out about it at the beginning of chapter 4. Mordecai solicits Esther's help with this, but she expresses some hesitation. And then Mordecai sends another message back to Esther. Verse 12. They told Mordecai what Esther had said. That's when she expressed her hesitation. Then Mordecai told them to reply to Esther. So this is the second time that he's reaching out to her. 3 sentences, something really good for us in each of the 3 sentences. Do not think to yourself that in the king's palace you will escape any more than all the other Jews. Esther, I know that you think that you're safe there, but I just need you to know that this is a threat to all of us, including to you. He's really saying to Esther, look. I know that it would be easy for you to believe that this isn't like your problem. This is also your problem. A lot of times we think that the things that are happening outside of our home or outside of our community, outside of our city, they don't really affect us. And Mordecai's word to Esther is, look, this injustice that is taking place, it affects you also. Verse 14. If you keep silent at this time, relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place. But you and your father's house will perish. 2 things here. Top line is just this idea that, again, from the previous verse, like you're in trouble here too, right? You don't do something, you're in trouble here too. But I think something even more profound is happening here also. If you keep silent, Esther, if you don't do anything, just know this. Relief and deliverance will rise for the Jews from another place. Oh, this is so good. Look, here's the thing, Esther. You just need to know, God is going to take care of his people, whether it's through you or not. So you stay silent, and you just need to know that's not going to work out for you, but in the end, everything will work out. God will get his way. I think this is a good word for all of us. At the end of the day, we know who wins this deal. And we know how the story ends, and God puts everything back together for good. We know that even if we don't participate in God's plan, that God's plan is still going to take place. But you need to know, Esther, that if you don't participate in God's plan here, you don't speak up, you don't do something, there will be consequences. Ultimately, everything will work out. But things will not work out as quickly as they would have otherwise. And things will not work out for you. A lot of times we just think, God's going to get it all worked out no matter what. And that's true. It's true. God has a role for you to play in this world. And you don't have to play it. And if you don't, everything will still work out. God will still accomplish his good will. But you will miss out. And then the line that Esther, the book, is most famous for. And who knows whether you have not come to the kingdom for such a time as this. Perhaps, Esther. He's not saying this directly, but he's saying perhaps. Perhaps the reason that you're in this position is for such a time as this. Remember we talked last week about how she doesn't have any power, but she does have influence. And perhaps she has been given influence. She has the ear of the most powerful man in the world, in the known world to them. And perhaps she has been given that influence for this moment. I'll let you read the rest of it. But Esther's reply to Mordecai now is a different tone. And she begins to put into action a plan to try to save her people. For such a time as this, is it possible that you are in a position of influence for a particular purpose, for a particular reason that you're in the place that you're in this season? It could be something grand. It could be something very small in one person's life. Are you in this season, in this place, for a particular reason? And do you have your eyes open to that? The last thing that I'll point out is that back in verse 8, Esther is taking commands from Mordecai. Then you get to the end of this chapter, and Mordecai is taking direction from Esther. This is a pivot point where Esther begins to step into her own and not just sit back and allow things to happen, but she steps forward, she steps out, and she becomes a part of what is happening to save God's people. What little role might you have to play today? God bless you, friends, and we'll see you next time.